Everyone, welcome back to Jaraci Cup number 11. Welcome to a pretty hot series here. It's going to be hottest man ever versus SickIGN. Soban versus Soban, pretty fun. I'm worried for SickIGN. I think he's probably going to die. I actually offered to coach him, but then he trolled me, so I took away my offer. So if he loses, it's entirely his fault. Hottest man ever playing as Soban. He's kind of he's taken up the challenge of becoming the meme lord here, which is kind of expected, given, you know, everything about this guy, if you've ever been, you know, watching him on the Discord. He's about to die every time. Ooh, close series. Alright, I'm excited. But I do request, no spoilerinos. Is that like the super hot soundtrack or like HME's music? Because I know HME makes music, right? Either way. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm very excited. But it's just going to be SC first in this first game here, so nothing too spectacular. Of course, hottest man ever's faster, because he's just faster. Everyone knows that. Yeah, no, hottest man ever's music is just good. Or like, if you've seen the videos that he made for like the layouts that he created that unfortunately nobody uses, but they're really cool. He put tons of work into it, strangely, like reworking all the blockers across the entire map. But he makes like trailers for them that are like seriously freaking hype, you know, and like they have awesome music to it. It's freaking sick. Yeah, unfortunately so. They exist though. I mean, you know, you should try them out. I don't think they're terribly good for, I don't think they're terribly good for 1v1, though. Wreck opened up here for SickIGN. He's up on his 2 base now. How many RU cells? Both of them. If you didn't know what hottest man ever's game plan is going to be, he almost always goes for gunship fab, right? And then he'll make 2 of them, do a bunch of damage to salvagers, and then he'll make a bunch of base runners and support cruisers and drive up with his carrier. And it's really hard if he can get that critical mass, which he often does because he has the eco lead. Really, really hard to stop it, because when there's that many support cruisers, they heal each other so much. And the targeting jammers actually really make your army not very effective, right? Because they're constantly, you know, in this field where they can't shoot at all. Not to mention, Savant Carrier really does quite a lot of damage too if it gets powered up. So if he can get enough extractions out, he really does have some serious threats there. So what is SickIGN's answer going to be? For now he's building a couple of LEVs that he's not using. And I think that's because... Well, no, because look, he's got a probe here. Yeah, it doesn't look good to me. What he wants to do is disrupt, right? If you can say, okay, hottest man ever can't achieve his game plan, then I'm going to be fine. Which is changing up a little bit here, by the way. He's actually not gotten LEV fab yet, so... I think that fighter and gunship tech is going to be very delayed if it comes out at all. He might just be foregoing it this game. Yeah, it looks like he's just going to go with the carrier instead. But either way, like, SickIGN wants to stop him from getting this, because right now, SickIGN has done nothing with his army. He's behind on eco. And his opponent has really not been slowed with win condition at all, so... I feel like this is pretty bad for SickIGN already. Hottest man ever, by the way, nearly going 6-0 in the groups. I think he went 5-1. And he nearly eliminated Marchwell in that way, which would have been crazy. Something exploded, what the heck? Oh, I see. It was probably... No, it wasn't. It just exploded. Well, I know that this probe just exploded. Down it goes. Yeah, I feel like SickIGN is not doing anything about this. He's just letting hottest man ever do exactly what he wants. No attempt to attack the bases. Which are totally vulnerable, by the way. I mean, this is like free real estate right here, but he's not going for it. Also, yeah, I definitely approve of that. Holy crap. That'd be so freaking hype. Are you still making that game, by the way? I know that hottest man ever was making a game at some point, but I'm not sure if he's still doing that. Down goes the probe. Once again fed to the slaughter. SickIGN has absolute information about like what's happening, right? So this should not be a surprise at all. How does he match it? Oh yeah, I know how that is. You end up just making none of them at once is what that really means. Targeting Jammer kind of wasted here. I think he really wants to wait until the fight gets started in earnest to drop these. So, Hottest Man Ever has got a lot of support cruisers here. There are railguns for SickIGN, but the jury's still out whether they're actually going to be able to do any DPS against this number of SCs. SC healing, which has been nerfed, by the way, since vanilla. So, I mean, like, this is a lot of support cruisers. Oh, jeez. SickIGN has power 1. Again, it's a little prophylactic. It's not really done anything with it. In fact, he doesn't even have it allocated right now. So this is where he wants that targeting jammer available, but he doesn't have it. Bit of ALM spam coming out for Hottest Man Ever now. This is kind of par for the course, but the SCs have jumped up on top of the railguns. And SickIGN's just dead here. I mean, like, this is hopeless, I think. Because, like, okay, well, he's got these railguns out at a different angle, to be fair, but... Hottest Man Ever is just gonna, you know, drive his carrier up here, and these SCs are, like, immortal, because they have so much healing shared among the bunch. Phoenix Seal would be very proud, I've gotta say. This is horrifying. Jammer deployed by SickIGN trying to stop the, you know, the onslaught, I guess, but it's just too late. What went wrong for SickIGN? He just did nothing. He was slower on eco, and yet he never pressured with armor. It's just trash. Yeah, he just went complete greed, and SickIGN had scouting, so he knew, but he didn't do anything about it, so... I mean, at least he could have done the same thing, but he didn't do that either. At this point, though, he has a lot of railguns, okay, so there's maybe some hope here, but I don't really think so. This number of railguns can do a lot of damage to the support cruisers, but... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, support cruisers are faster, not to mention with the ALM... No, actually they're slower, but I guess it's the ALM stunning that let him catch up here. And he's just gonna kill these railguns. They just don't have the DPS to stop him. I think he got one support cruiser, but, like, it doesn't matter, right? Ay, caramba. Well, that's the thing, A-Game. Like, he didn't even blind counter. Like, I think he would have died to, like, 99% of builds at this point. Now, this is maybe his first good idea of the game. He's actually moving over here to where he can try and take out the third base and then set up his own here. Yeah. But if you don't react to it, right, then you just die, which I think is what happened here. Hottest Man Ever is starting to tech his carrier power, by the way. It doesn't have his ALMs powered up. No, wait, that's, oh shoot, that's SickIGN I'm looking at right there. This is Hottest Man Ever. Oh, he's not even teching carrier power, he just doesn't even need it. Your problem, Hottest Man Ever, is that it's not a strat, it's a strad. You know, until you know that, it'll never be respectable. And here we have a bit of a base trade going on, but I mean, right now it's Hottest Man Ever on 4 base against his opponent on 0, which seemed to be 1, but I think we know who that favors. And these support cruisers can actually chase the Swan carrier, curiously enough, but they should never really be able to kill it, because even with armor 1, they're doing 1 damage per shot. Yeah, you're totally right, Rompo. He's like, yeah, railguns should beat support cruisers, right? Instead of thinking, like, if I just let my opponent do this, he has a chance of winning. If I don't let my opponent do this, he never has a chance of winning, you know? That's the game state I want, where I've already won, right? But instead he's just kind of playing like this and dying. If only, you know, if only, like, somebody could have taught him, like... By the support cruiser anti-air, that's pretty trash here, because he's never going to build there. If only somebody could have, like, coached SickIGN and, like, taught him how to beat this strategy so that he'd be prepared for the series. That would have been really good, but unfortunately nobody was willing to do it, because he's a child. Yeah, you're right. He hasn't quite developed, like... He hasn't quite developed object permanence yet, you know, so it's really hard for him to do that kind of stuff. And Hottest Man Ever could just take carrier power if you wanted to win here, but he's gonna win with style. Like, he's just gonna kill him with these SCs, I think. For now, though, Railgun's actually doing something useful on this side of the field, trying to disrupt the eco. There's just so much of it. I mean, he's already on, you know, 3 base on the other side, let alone the main base over here. By the way, Giga Chad move if you're gonna mine off your opponent's base. That's when you know, like, you've already won if you're doing that, even if you lose the game. Oh, you're right, they actually are. Like, what are they hitting over here? Oh, man. I don't think he was ever on 6 base, but he was close. Celebrating victory, yeah. They're shooting fireworks into the air. And, like, the crew of the Saban carrier is just, like, huddled in the corner, like, oh gosh. They're gonna get through eventually. Oh, geez. SickIGN corralled into the corner now. Obviously, this carrier will meet him eventually. Strike fighters being built. Yeah, and this SC will not die. It's gaining health here. Horrifying. This really is child abuse. You weren't kidding. Somehow, SickIGN is still floating money. I don't know how that's possible. Maybe he's trying to save up for Power 4. Yeah, I see. Doesn't really matter, though. I mean, he's dead for sure here. Deady spaghetti, as they say. And here come the Strike Fighters. One carry pretty low armor, so the Strike Fighters do quite a lot of damage to it. If they attack, that is. Looks like they're actually going to go for the Railguns. Well, he'll get them, to be fair. He may still be in for it for some time yet if he chooses to actually just kill him with support cruisers, but rest assured, this is definitely game over. I agree again, I agree. Although, maybe what he's trying to do is fulfill the fantasy of Hottest Man Ever, who has always dreamed of killing a carrier in this fashion. Indeed, I think it's this support cruiser who got the kill, but I'm not sure. Terrible game. Terrible game from SickIGN. He's definitely got to shake it up here a little bit. Let's jump into game 2 here. Oops. Oh, what the... Okay. I had a bit of file woes there, but we're all right. Here it is. So, what has he got to do differently this time? Well, he had scouting, right? So he knows what's going on here. I think it's actually a good idea to not just blind counter Hottest Man Ever, because, like, what if he plays normal for once, you know? That's how Godite Sweeps took a game off of March 1, if you recall. So I think that he does want to keep scouting, so sending out that probe like he did was not a bad idea. This time it looks like he's going to go for retire instead. But, he just, like, if he sees his opponent going for, like, 3 base with no tech, you know, you kill him, right? I mean, he should be mega dead there. That's what he's got to do. So, we'll see what the game plan is. Yes, I agree, I agree. Figure out, like, the absolute memeiest way that you could ever beat somebody in the game, and then if they can pull it off in a tournament, you know? Can you imagine, like, a 3v3 with, like, those guys on a team? Oh my gosh. Horrifying. Mass salvagers, it's Jetpack Ninja. Yeah, you use like coalition logistics modules to like attack your opponent. Oh gosh. LEV Fab done for hottest man ever this time, faster than SickIGN even, who has expanded to 2 base, but oh wait a minute, no, SickIGN already has LEV Fab. What am I talking about? Oh jeez, just kill your opponent with marked target railguns. Oh man. I used to think marked target would stack, by the way, but it turns out it's only like you can only get 1 marked target on a target at a time. So. Unfortunately, not going to be like, you know, plus 500% damage for the carrier or anything, but... One LEV out here is to scout, I assume, so it's going to check and see what he's doing. Nuclear probes! Not nuclear, nuclear. It's AV Fab from Hottest Man Ever. So yeah, like I said, I mean, maybe he actually plays something somewhat more standard for once. LAV here is scouting though, so he's getting some good info, and Hottest Man Ever actually can't see this. Gonna try and kick this LAV out, so it's gonna drive back. But look, he sees this SE come out, right? So... Hey, it's Orbnet, oh my gosh. This is the man who 3-0'd Descara. A legend. Well, it looks like Hottest Man Ever moving out now, so he's got his carrier moving with the army, which is a couple of AVs. SickIGN has rail fab again, so he needs to build it like right now. I mean, like yesterday. He needs to be building railguns already. Okay, there they are. This might be too late, though. I don't know. And upgrades that units get vanilla stats? Oh my gosh. Amazing. So it's a 2-base timing with AVs here. This is pretty fun. Railguns are out though, so I mean, like, SickIGN has a defense against this. You know what though? No power in this carrier. I mean, he couldn't even die to AVs, but he needs to keep these. He needs to keep these. Well, it's too late now. He should have kept those railguns out of the line of fire. At this point, I think it's already over. Actually, what he wants to do is keep them like up on this hill where they can even get high ground too, but like not be in range of the AVs. This is very, very poor railgun micro. Oh dear. Yeah, unfortunately, I think he's just kind of dead here, right? He's taking mag accelerator. Well, that's not going to do much. These ALMs even are killing railguns. This is sad. And Hottest Man Ever gonna start mining off his opponent's main base. Alright. Well, HC is like the best anti-strikecraft unit in the game. So I don't think that's really true. It's more like if you misposition HC, they can be killed, which I think is good. It's a unit where like no amount of stats on it can really stop it from dying if you have bad micro, which I think is really nice. Well, SickIGN gonna try to base trade again. I think we saw what happened last time. Let's just kind of speed this up. Still though, you gotta respect hottest man ever for mining off his opponent's bases, you know? Once you're doing that, yeah, you've made it. You've arrived. And see what his play is here too, I really like. He's not even gonna chase, he just sets up these bases here and then he gets firing gunship tech so that he can kill his opponent later. It's beautiful. Although, actually, for real, I should point out, it's not possible for us to add any upgrades to the game, so... Oh my gosh, it's that slow? Dang. I didn't realize it was that slow, that's crazy. SickIGN feeling like a real man because he's killing defenseless salvagers here. Despicable. Honest man ever gonna show him what a real man does in DOK. Yeah, you're right. More like tickling to death, too. I mean, eventually he would kill these things. Oh dear. And there's really just no defense against this. He's getting sport cruiser and anti-air, but this is pure suffering. Well, I mean, he deserves it if he's gonna play this trash, you know. Can't say he didn't have it coming. Oh, it's a bomber. Nice. And yeah, SickIGN does finally decide he's had enough of it and he surrenders. Pretty easy 2-0 for hottest man ever. Pretty easy. This was a best of 3, he'd already have won. Well, at this point, I've got to say, I've given up hope that SickIGN can even make this competitive. So let's see how game 3 turns out. Yeah, his play so far has been pretty much terrible. I mean, there's no two ways about it. Alrighty. Galzian territories though, who picked this? This was the hottest man in the world. Nice. Honestly, I think honor guards are just really good how they are, but I don't know, maybe they're like too strong, but I kind of don't like making honor guards stronger at all. I mean, I feel like they're already good enough, you know. Well, you know, there's giant cruiser. I mean, I think they're the fastest cruiser in the game, although that might not be true. Yeah, I wonder. It's hard to say. Probably this. I mean, I know there's an SC queuing, but this is probably AAV Rush. Actually, he'll cancel this in a moment. Oh, SCs are the fastest. Okay, well that kind of makes sense. Only aren't PCs as fast as SCs as well? I think they both have 70 movement speed. And of course, technically, Conf PCs, I guess, are faster than that. Yeah, well, that sure is what it's like playing against Skara. SickIGN is going to mix things up this time, so he has that production upgrade coming, so this is going to be LME spam. I'm happy because he's just straight up died every other game, so he's got to do something different. Are PCs only 65, really? Huh.
Enemy contact on sensors. Hostile contact on the board. Hostile threat mark on sensors. Enemy sighted. Soldier taking hostile fire.
ALM is here, so there's some defense for hottest man ever. I think what SickIGN really wants to do is come in like not one at a time like this, but set up like a staging ground, or maybe even attack over on this side. Oh my gosh, he's just straight up feeding now. Well, this is SickIGN, alright. He just drives in and loses 2 LAVs for nothing. But, oh my gosh, he's F2 clicking all of them back here. Oh my gosh. Oh, he's taking railguns. Oh my gosh. Oh no. This is just horrible. This is like exactly what he could do to lose despite winning here.
Enemy signature identified. Hostile contact on the board. Designated. Enemy contact on the board.
Welcome tab's done now. But I feel like SickIGN's just let hottest man ever get his game plan once again. Okay, this time he's coming in with more LAVs though. So
Copy. Go ahead. Hostile unit marked. Enemy on sensor. Sensor posted.
okay, this is actually kind of nice because the targeting jammer is actually super blocking. Just wants to delete this, I suspect. He got 1 salvager. Okay, SickIGN making big plays here. Yeah, he's dead. He does have the railguns coming out though, so I mean he's got something going for him. It is true that like if the railguns can be shooting at the carrier as it's on its approach, he has time. So maybe this can be different for once.
Adjusting course.
Hottest man ever typically has not been taking carrier power, which means that he doesn't do so well like when he doesn't have his critical massive SCs up yet, because he's not obviously getting like damage on his carrier.
Proceeding to mark.
Oh, well, then again, we did notice one thing. If you watched the stream earlier, for some reason, Savant BCs can't hit turrets at all. That's weird. Maybe that could be looked into. Not exactly game-breaking, but it was a little funny to see. Railgun's actually gonna give Sunder on this SC. Yeah, that one's definitely gonna go down. You know, this actually looks better for SickIGN for once. SickIGN's still on 1 base, holy crap. I mean, well, I guess he's long distance flying. SC's gonna get slaughtered by these LEDs, I suppose. Yeah, you know, this is looking kind of good, because he's stopping hottest man ever from getting his critical mass here. He probably needs more railguns, actually.
We have new bearing on hostile target. Enemy sighted.
Yeah, he needs more railguns. That's what he really needs here. He's not really got the money for it, I suppose. Well, I mean, railguns just do the job of the LEDs but better, I think. But I mean, these LEDs are being good for him because they give him so much information, so much vision, that is. And obviously, as you can see, they're killing these SCs as well. Okay, you know what? He's actually kind of making this work right now. I'm gonna have to disagree, Rolpa, because the problem is that like the SCs actually can hurt the LED blob, whereas like the railguns, when they're microed properly, which okay, to be fair, it's SickIGN, so do we really expect them to micro properly? But still, the railguns are untouchable, and so they can just kill the support cruisers for free, basically. Oof, that smack, yo. Well, I mean, I agree. Saban is looking just crazy strong right now because of their carrier being super powerful. And then obviously the coalition artillery strat is just so hard to fight. Sure, but I mean, you'll know if your opponent is building LAVs. You can just build to counter. I think that's not really a problem. LAVs do a good job of taking out the ALMs there, so that, I mean, he's got that going for him. Honestly, I think Mark Target actually he doesn't need yet, because like it does obviously drop the DPS of one of the railguns to 0. So still though, this is great. Railgun's up on the high ground here. He's basically just untouchable. This is kind of what I'm talking about, right? And yeah, AV is great against this too. But you see, these railguns are just untouchable, so they can just kind of put out their damage. Oh, okay. If they move forward like this, it's not so great. Caster's Curse, I guess. But no, he stops the move order, so he's not going to lose it. Okay. Yeah, well, this maybe should display to SickIGN, or sorry, to Phoenix, you know, why support cruisers are not actually combat units, you know. As you can see, they can be outdone by a real army. In fact, they should. Once SickIGN finally learned to use his railguns properly, he's actually winning, you know? Yeah, no, I do really love how Honest Man ever tries to go up on the 4 base whenever he can. Oh no, he put the railguns too close again. It's okay though, he's got so much army at this point, but he kills them so fast, I don't think there's anything Honest Man ever can do. Yeah, only one support cruiser left here on this front line. I think he's pretty much done for. Oh man, he's targeting the LAVs onto the carrier. Oh, that's a fun move. Obviously that works because it has 5 armor right now, so down it goes. Well, yeah, Coalition has the minus armor thing too. All the railguns in the game do. Okay, so SickIGN takes 1 game at least. Can he get another one? Oh yeah, assault railguns don't have it. I forgot. And actually, Rompa, I think that's not how it works anymore, but I can't totally remember. I think that Coalition and Saboan rails have like the same damage per shot now. And it was because like when A-Game changed the rail damage, if he has Saboan rails still do less damage but higher fire rate, then they just can't actually hurt carriers at all. I think that was the idea. So the Saboan rail actually just has a slightly higher fire rate but the same damage per shot. Yeah, well, I mean, like, Magixel only does 20 damage right now. That was the balance thing in vanilla, you're right, but I don't think it's true in patch anymore. So it's the Boneyard. And whose pick is this? No, SickIGN, okay. Well, he likes this map, I can see it. Oh, you did? Oh, I want to read that. Yeah, well, they're cheaper. They have more armor. They have a higher DPS. It's like, what can these things not do? I think nominally there's an idea that because they have less Alpha Strike, you can win railgun fights as Coalition, but in practice, not really. I mean, they just, man. Oh, they're more expensive? By 10 CU. Okay, so that's not a big deal. But I mean, like, the big thing is that they can fight Strikecraft. I mean, it's just, like, disgusting. They have hidden modifiers that make them do better against Strikecraft for some reason. I was sure that was true, and people kept denying it for the longest time, but I think we finally found that it was actually, like, it actually was true. 2.5 times as much? Oh my gosh. That's ridiculous. I didn't realize it was that bad. And then obviously on top of, like, the extra armor that they get, it just feels like the only unit you ever need in a 3v3 is just so on rails. It's just insane. I mean, they're just like horrifying units. Oh, I already made one. It's called Jaramillo. You should try it out. Veteran gunship tech came out for Autosmet ever this time. We did the production upgrade for SickIGN, so I guess he wants to go for some LAV spam off of his 2 base, but he did obviously go for SC first. Yeah, that's true. There actually is a patch for this. Autosmet ever just a little bit late on the carry production upgrade, but I mean, hey, we're not gonna be so sad about this. I wonder if this is his double gunship thing again. I still think that strike fighters are better, but you know, gunships have more meme potential, so I mean, really, they're just better. Sure. I mean, I'm a little hesitant to do it because it's gonna, like, I still have tournament to play, but yeah, I'll play Discar on the new patch. It's not that much of a deal if I don't get used to it, you know. Railgun Fab coming out for SickIGN again. This is a pretty trash play, I think. The reason it works last game is because he knows his opponent is doing this this SC rush style, but he doesn't know that this time. He has no scouting. Sure enough, look at this. There's a gunship on the way, and I think it's going to be a second gunship. Yep. So railguns are going to be absolutely terrible here. Once again, SickIGN going to be punished for his general badness, which is always kind of fun to see.
Enemy signature identified. Waypoint designated. New vector locked.
A bit of aggro reaching hottest fan of his side though, but he's got the 3 ALMs. I feel like he's actually going to be fine to defending against this. So far the LAVs have gotten a targeting jammer. It's more than nothing. Here comes the gunship though. And look at that, he's not even interested in the LAVs because he's like, what are they going to do? I think he's probably just going to send this back to the main base. This will be extra sweet for me to see because I offered to, like, the first thing I was going to do in this sort of boot camp coaching for SickIGN was just, like, have gunships attack him until he learned to split his salvagers well. And of course he kind of trolled, so, yeah, look at this great splitting, yeah. To be fair, he actually does get them started splitting, so it's not the worst he've ever seen. But still, this could be improved on, you know? I've only had somebody to teach him how to do this. 2 salvagers dead. Now he's got the split down, but he's still gonna lose probably this 3rd one. Yeah, like some guy who like casts the game so he kind of knows what he's talking about, but I don't know. I don't think it exists. He starts SCAA? Oh no. I don't think this is really the right I don't think this is really the right play. Not to mention this permanently locks this railgun back into the base. And he's got a base burner, so just come over here and drop down a turret and you'll be fine, right? Get missile battery fab. You know, that's what you want to do. Especially with tac bomber fab coming out, I love it. I love it. And Honest Fan Evers is he's gonna romp him, you know? Romp and Frolic would be pleased.
Moving to new waypoint. Location designated.
Okay, he does have AV fab coming out to his credit, but in that case, you know, oh wait, look at that, he cancels Spur Cruiser Interior. Maybe he's got a brain, even if it is just a little bit small. If you want to be really disappointed in March 1, I'd say yes. Phoenix was a bit fun to co-cast with. His chicken was making noise, but the games themselves weren't terribly high quality, I don't think. So. Looks like Hottest Man Ever not exactly sure where he wants to go. 3rd base then, going to be the one that's under attack here. This gunship actually nearly dead, so he will have to dock in eventually. We got base burners here, but they haven't set down anti-air turret posts. I don't really know what the idea is. So both of the gunships going to get away. Now we have the SCs coming out, we have bombers on the way too. I think this game's done pretty much. I mean, I don't know what SickIGN can really do at this point. Looks pretty terrible.
New bearing on hostile target under awaiting orders. New vector lock. Enemy on sensors.
Well, you'll have that. He does have the anti-air turret posts getting set up, so I mean he does have those. But
Enemy unit detected.
yeah, no memes this game, just freaking pounding. Not in a good way. Uh-oh, bomber doesn't want to drop on that. Okay, it didn't though. Ouch, and it goes to the support cruiser. Wait, what? What? Oh my gosh. You're right. What the crap? Well, that's hilarious. How did that happen though? Because I thought the bombers just targeted it and they had enough damage. 1600 times 2 is 3200. Yeah, they are. So if they dodge, if they miss by any little bit, I guess. No, wait, the armor. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious, man. That is hilarious. Wow. When its health bar goes to 0 like that, I just think it's dead, you know? Well, hottest man ever, just doing his, Yeah, maybe that makes sense, like if the... If it got hit by like 1 or 2 gunship shells, right? That's crazy, because how much damage does the gunship do? 42, but it's AoE, yeah, so I've just had some fall off. That's crazy, man. That is hilarious. That's the definition of a glass cannon right there, though. If it gets tickled, it'll fall. Double gunship coming in here, hitting the LEDs as well. Uh-oh. Let's see how this ends. It's like Apollo 1 in there. They should really, you know, they should really get out of the capsule. Yeah, good point. Well, I mean, if you count, like, a healing as kind of negative DPS, I guess it does. Yeah, hottest man ever, not even powering up his carrier. I mean, why would he bother doing that? He can just win without it. Support cruiser does go down. Heroes bleed. And that ought to pretty much be a wrap, although, as we saw before, it may take some time. After the support cruiser survived. Oh, that's weird. The oh, the turning there just went down. Maybe I can see on this one. Yeah, there's like a vision warping effect all the way out to here, but the radius clearly. Oh no way. Well, he tried so hard, he's just not good. That's all. If only there was somebody who could have, you know, taught him, like, how to beat this strategy and win in this series, but I don't know, I guess no one could do it. Oh well, it doesn't matter, because whoever wins this series has to face me and then lose, so he wouldn't have gone much longer anyway. Well, he was, but see, I actually... Oh, well, I guess you don't know the story. I told him that I would coach him, so he said, okay. And then, like, we got in the game, and then, like, I'm alright, this is what we're gonna do, and then he just, like, trolled, so I just was like, okay, I'm not gonna coach you then. And then he was like, no, come back, I'll be serious now. But I was like, no, like, you ruined it, so... That's why I keep making fun of him here. And he does go down as a result of his own inability to learn. Happens, man. Happens. But hottest man ever will be happy with this. 3-1, not the most dominant score you can get, but still. He got destroyed. Well, if you guys enjoyed watching, let's jump on to the next one.